Konnichiwa. Welcome to the 28th lesson of the Basic Japanese series for beginners. In this video, you will learn how to construct the ta form of verbs, which is used to represent the past tense of verbs in the plain style of speech. You will also learn two sentence patterns that make use of the ta form. The first one, ending with ta koto ga arimasu, which is used in referring to something which one has experienced in the past. And the second one, ending with tari shimasu, which is used in referring to some representative actions among many other activities. And by the end of this lesson, you will be able to use all of them and frame sentences on your own. So please watch it till the end. Before I begin with the ta form, I request you to first watch my previous video on the te form of verbs. Actually, for the construction of the ta form, we will use the same rules which we used for the construction of the te form in lesson 19. And then we will just replace te with ta. So it'll be easy if you're familiar with the construction of the te form. Coming to the ta form of verbs, it is used to represent the past tense of verbs in the plain style of speech. For example, for the verb tabemasu, which means to eat, its ta form is tabeta, which means ate in the plain style of speech. For the verb nomimasu, which means to drink, its ta form is nonda, which means drank in the plain style of speech. In fact, in Japanese, many sentence patterns use the ta form of verbs. But before you learn them, you must know how to change the verbs ending with mas to their respective ta forms. Now, let us see the rules to construct the ta form. We will follow two steps. The first step is to construct the te form of verbs. And the second step is to replace te with ta. If the te form of verbs has de at the end, then we will replace de with da. It is as simple as that. Let me give you a few examples and the construction will become clear. For the verb kakimasu, which means to write, its te form is kaite. And by replacing te with ta, we will get kaita, which means wrote. For the verb nomimasu, which means to drink, its te form is nonde. And by replacing de with da, we will get nonda, which means drank. For the verb tabemasu, which means to eat, its te form is tabete. And by replacing te with ta, we will get tabeta, which means ate. For the verb mimasu, which means to see or watch, its te form is mite. And by replacing te with ta, we will get mita, which means saw. For the verb shimasu, which means to do, its te form is shite. And by replacing te with ta, we will get shita, which means did. Let me give you one more example. For the verb kimasu, which means to come, its te form is kite. And by replacing te with ta, we will get kita, which means came. Just try to recall the te form first and the construction will become easy. Okay? Next, let us see how to use the ta form to create simple expressions in Japanese. The sentence pattern ending with V-ta koto ga arimasu is used in referring to something which one has experienced in the past. Let me give you a few examples and the usage will become clear. The verb ikimasu means to go. The te form is itte and the ta form is itta. By adding koto ga arimasu, we will get itta koto ga arimasu, which means I have gone. And to say I have gone to Japan, in Japanese it will be Nihon e itta koto ga arimasu. Let me go to the next example. The verb mimasu means to see. The te form is mite and the ta form is mita. By adding koto ga arimasu, we will get mita koto ga arimasu, which means I have seen. And to say I have seen Mount Fuji, in Japanese it will be Fuji-san o mita koto ga arimasu. Let me go to the next example. The verb tabemasu means to eat. The te form is tabete and the ta form is tabeta. By adding koto ga arimasu, we will get tabeta koto ga arimasu, which means I have eaten. And to say I have eaten sushi, in Japanese it will be sushi o tabeta koto ga arimasu. Let me go to the next example. The verb norimasu means to take or to ride or to get into. Say for example a train. The te form is notte and the ta form is notta. By adding koto ga arimasu, we will get notta koto ga arimasu, which means I have taken. And to say I have taken the bullet train, that is Shinkansen, in Japanese it will be Shinkansen ni notta koto ga arimasu. Let me go to the next example. The verb tomarimasu means to stay. Say for example in a hotel. The te form is tomatte and the ta form is tomatta. By adding koto ga arimasu, we will get tomatta koto ga arimasu, which means I have stayed. And to say I have stayed in a Japanese inn, In Japanese, it will be ryokan ni tomatta koto ga arimasu. For those of you who don't know, ryokan is a traditional Japanese inn or a hotel where travelers can experience authentic Japanese culture. Now, if we add ka at the end of the sentence, then it will become a question. And this sentence pattern ending with koto ga arimasu ka is used to ask if the action described by the verb has ever been done in the past. So, if someone asks, ryokan ni tomatta koto ga arimasu ka? Then it means, have you ever stayed in a Japanese inn? If you have stayed in the past, then you can just say, hai, arimasu, which means, yes, I have. And if you have never stayed in the past, then you can say, iie, ichido mo arimasen. Here, ichido mo means never or not even once, and it is used in a negative sentence. Next, let us learn another sentence pattern which makes use of the ta form. The pattern is V1-tari, V2-tari, shimasu. It means do V1, do V2 among many other things. And it is used in referring to some representative actions among many other activities. It is useful in answering questions like, what do you do during weekends? So, if the question in Japanese is, shumatsu nani o shimasu ka? Then you can use this sentence pattern to answer the question. Let me give you a few examples and the usage will become clear. To say I do shopping and see movies, among other things, in Japanese it will be kaimono shitari, eiga o mitari, shimasu. As you can see, we have added ri to the ta form of verbs. Let me give you another example. To say I read books and listen to music, among other things, in Japanese it will be hon o yondari, ongaku o kiitari shimasu. Let me give you another example. To say I go to my friend's house and drink, among other things, in Japanese it will be tomodachi no uchi e ittari, nondari shimasu. Let me give you another example. To say I wash clothes and clean my room, among other things, in Japanese it will be sentaku shitari, heya o souji shitari shimasu. Now, if the question in Japanese is kino nani o shimashita ka? Then it translates to what did you do yesterday? So, the answer will be in past tense. And in this case, you have to use the same sentence pattern. But just replace shimasu with shimashita. For example, to say I played with children and took a walk among other things, in Japanese it will be kodomo to asondari, sanpo shitari, shimashita. Here, the word shimashita, which is at the end of the sentence, shows that it is in past tense. Next, let us learn how to translate simple English sentences to Japanese. The first sentence is, have you ever been to a hot spring? Hot spring is onsen and to go is ikimasu. Since the ta form of ikimasu is itta, the translation will be onsen e itta koto ga arimasu ka? Let us go to the second sentence. The verb noborimasu means to climb. Say for example a mountain. And the ta form of noborimasu is nobotta. So the translation will be Fujisan ni nobotta koto ga arimasu ka? Let us go to the third sentence. Machine is kikai and to use is tsukaimasu. Since the ta form of tsukaimasu is tsukatta, the translation will be kono kikai o tsukatta koto ga arimasu ka? Let us go to the fourth sentence. Snow is yuki and to see is mimasu. Since the ta form of mimasu is mita, the translation will be Yuki o mita koto ga arimasu ka? Let us go to the fifth sentence. Medicine is kusuri and to drink is nomimasu. Since the ta form of nomimasu is nonda, the translation will be kono kusuri o nonda koto ga arimasu ka? If the reply is no, never, then in Japanese it will be iie, ichido mo arimasen. Let us go to the last sentence. Last weekend is senshumatsu. To play golf is gorfo shimasu. And to have food or meal is shokuji shimasu. Since there are only two representative actions among many other activities, we have to use the sentence pattern V1-tari, V2-tari, shimashita. So the translation will be senshumatsu gorfu o shitari, restaurant de shokuji shitari, shimashita. I'm sure now you will be able to use the ta form without any difficulty. So that is it for now. I hope this video was useful. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. And if you found the video good, give it a thumbs up and share it with others. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye.